Well, it looks like tonight's Henry video is brought to you by a Pontiac. So, yeah, he did warn me that he needed a lift. So, looks like we'll be working over here on the ground. I'm just working on fuel stuff anyway, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But, gonna be a little cooler in this room. I don't remember there being heat over here. So, we'll go from there. Okay, it's warming up in here. I forgot. Yeah, there's a heater on this side. So, just pulled that back. He's got the Hero covers on. They sure look nice. He got some old ones and cleaned them up real nice. So, yeah, that's going to look really, really good. I got to work on getting a little bit more light. This door is kind of killing me for light, but we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll pick up the Pontiac and slide this back. We'll see. Because I like to get the fuel system and hopefully the throttle linkage all sorted out. Because that stuff finally came. So that should be everything else I needed. Those clips, and those can wait until next time the car is up. And that's for a different project. But that came as well. So that's where we're at right now. Look at that. Because I'm that asshole kind of guy. Here's my toys sitting in, taking up his space. So, gotta do it. That's how we decided to handle it. Just push her back, pick up the Trans Am, push her back, and think we'll get cracking here. So let's figure out how we want to handle this. Okay, gonna give a quick explanation what we're doing. I just opened out our little low car throttle linkage kit, pulled it all apart, and now we've got to adjust for our bracket, get that adjusted. But it was going to be a lot easier to go ahead and put this ball right here off the car. Plus, this clip is for the return springs, since we don't have a GM kickdown, so we can put that there, or we can use that, but that's going to be a little snug. So they show that we can just clip it on there. So we're going to get that all set up out here where it's easy to reach. Better for worse, we just drilled the hole. So you can see her back behind the valve cover. And to position it, I just spun that up. So that's where we're going to be. So now let's get that installed. All right, we're real happy. That came out. I don't know what you can see back there. Came out really nice. We've already trimmed the cable housing down, but not the cable itself. And then inside, now remember, there's no carpet yet. So it'll be fun. Whoever gets to do that job can do it around all this. Let's see. So when you step on the gas, and then we can adjust by changing the splining here where that winds up. Because what we're going to want is full throttle to hit just around the same time that this stopper hits. So we want that to coincide with full throttle. So one, you're not stretching cables. But two, we're not overhyping on the unit itself. So, but all that'll have to be adjusted later. And it's really fun to tighten these. There's a little set screw on the back here that's just a nightmare. So we've played that game before. We'll wind up cutting an Allen key down just to get just that little hook, and we'll fight it for an hour and we'll cuss and it'll happen. So we've got that cut back carefully by hand with a hacksaw blade, because you don't want to cut those with cutters. It couldn't pinch. Obviously the cable was pushed out while we cut it. That wasn't in the sleeve. This all went together really nice. So now, one thing that's nice with all the low car cables is you get so much adjustment room. So it'll kind of give us a chance to fine tune everything. So this will be sitting here and going to here. So once that cable's cut down to size, it goes in here into this set screw. And there's even a little bit of adjustment here as well. So they give us a lot of areas to mess things up. All right, so here we go. We have throttle linkage. Comes through, goes up, comes around, and it works. So I think he's gonna go in and push the pedal here to show you that it works. So we don't have progressive linkage right now, it's straight linkage. So we may go progressive. We don't know yet. That's going to be one of our tuning things. Okay, now we're getting ready to design up our hoses. You can see this is the angle we've decided here is that 120 degree, because that'll throw the hose in the right direction, and that's going to be the top fitting. And this one I'll play with a couple fittings, but it's probably going to be a 45-ish to kind of come around, and that'll be the other fitting. We've got -8 coming into that block and 2 -6s coming out, so hopefully that will help. Okay, I think we've selected our ends. We're going to do 2 90s here, a 45 here, and that 120 there. And we will start playing with some push lock hose, and I'll show you how that looks in a minute. Almost forgot to film. So here's where we're at. We've got our -8 into our block. We've got these two. So this one kind of arcs around to the 120 here. This one arcs all the way around to here. We've got a clamp here and one in the back to kind of keep them from vibrating and rubbing around. Everybody is under no stress. There's plenty of length for vibration. We're pretty happy with that. One of the things we got upcoming is we're going to have to find a breather and a PCV valve for this, you know, because these are keyed on both of them. The other thing is, if you recall from a previous video, we were worried about the belt and where it's going to line up, and guess we should have been paying a lot more attention to the valve cover and how the nice ones weren't going to play nice with the alternator. So we're definitely going to be going to a longer belt now, and we're just going to have to come up with a new setup for the turnbuckle, which is going to be interesting, because how do you hyperextend over that? So it's going to have to be something that arches, and yeah, there's it's going to be fun, but we'll figure something out. You know, there's a solution in here somewhere. Let's get this off of here so I can see better. Let's see. One of the problems here is as we come in, look how close that it is, and we don't want to ding this up. So we either face the prospect of trying to space this out ever so slightly and hope the belt rides, or we deal with going a little longer on that. But we got to be careful, because you know it has to not interfere with the fan. So there's a solution. We'll figure it out. So that's where we're at right now. Closing her out. We're still playing down here. We've been playing with a box of hoses and going through it, but we actually found something that's going to work up here real nice and clear real well. The other thing is we played some shim games and moved some shims from here to over there to just buy us the room we need for that seal cover to clear the valve cover. So that's going to save us a lot of hassle, because it doesn't look like it throws our belt alignment off at all. So I don't think we're going to have any squeaking. So we actually got quite a bit more done than we had any reason to expect to. Getting that throttle pedal done, that was really, really nice. So now you come in here and stomp the gas, and something actually happens. So I'm pretty happy about that. The brake pedal is starting to, it's not perfect yet, but you know, she's starting to get a little feel, but we got to get that adjusted before we expect the brake to work. Yeah, still just playing the game here. It's a difficult one, especially since it's, you know, what, 2 inch on one side and 1 and probably 7/8 or something on the other side. So all right, and that's going to be the Henry J for this week. You knew I wasn't done. So they're not bolted in, they're not wired, we got to sort them out. But here are the seats. You can see they're lined up with their bolt holes here, And for someone like me, that's way too far back, but Harlan's really tall. So when I'm sitting in here, it's funny, I can almost touch the pedals. I don't really want them bolted in because I'm going to have to pull them back out anyway to get back there and do his wiring back here and get that all sorted. But we need to know where things are and what we're going to do for the wiring harness for the seats, because he wants all that stuff to work. The seat warmers, the ups and downs, the lefts, the rights, the programmable memory. So we're going to do what we can to make all this work. But yeah, it's a little less comfortable for the passenger. But, you know, what do you do? Roll bar is definitely something you're not going to want to complain about in this car, because I think without it, this car would rip itself in half. So that is probably going to be the actual end this week. So, all right.